Hi there, my name is Anjali and I am the founder of Awake Yoga, and I thought I would just pop on to share a little bit about what we're up to here and what to expect when you walk into the studio. So number one thing is anyone can do yoga. Anyone. It doesn't matter what health issues you have, what body type you have. Anyone can do yoga. And I think there's a misconception out there that you have to be all bendy or super calm to do yoga, and that is not true. I am not bendy and I am not calm. But yoga will open you up, work on more flexibility in the body, and also to help calm the mind. But most people associate yoga with the physical postures in the body because that's what we see out there in magazines, on social media, all these cool shapes that people do with their bodies. And that is just that's just a small part of this practice. There's so many other yogic tools, and that's part of the reason that I opened the studio, is that I saw that no one was teaching a lot of the practices that I practiced myself. And so I was like, I got to teach these practices because they work. They have healed me and so many other people that I have taught them to. So I started off as a power vinyasa yoga teacher, and that was super awesome. But 5 years ago, I traveled to India and learned all these other practices from my teacher that, whoa, it just took my practice and my life to the next level. And I'm a psychologist by profession, but I've shifted into teaching people these yoga practices because that's how much of an impact that they have had on my life. And I'm like, I have to share them. So what are these practices? There's breath practices, so many different breath practices that you could do to shift yourself on the level of energy. So you can wake yourself up using the breath. You can calm your nervous system using the breath. And when you have the ability to calm your nervous system by taking a few deep breaths, that is powerful. It has results in your life. Because when you notice yourself getting stressed out or anxious, instead of reacting, you can just take a moment and come to your breath and totally calm your whole nervous system. So your thoughts calm, your body calms, your breath starts to deepen. And it sounds so simple, but if you're not doing breath practices when you are not stressed out, you will not be able to integrate in when you are stressed out. And I worked with clients for many years who've had anxiety disorders, and I was trying to teach them breath practices, but I wasn't doing breath practices myself, so I probably didn't do that great of a job. But now that I have the experience of using these practices myself, it just makes so much more sense. The other practices that you might see are kriyas, and I love kriya. So kriya is an evolutionary action. And in yoga, what a kriya is a repetitive mantra, a sound you make with your voice, movement in the body, or breath practice, or combination of those three to create a certain impact. There's so many different kriyas. There's gentle ones, there's powerful ones. But the cool thing about kriya is that it impacts your brain. And you can start to really wake up the prefrontal cortex of your brain, which is your higher functioning. And when you have more access to the prefrontal cortex, you have better decision-making ability. You are also less likely to be in the stressed out brain, as I like to call it, the fight, flight, freeze or collapse, right? That stress, that trauma reaction that if you're human, you've experienced some sort of trauma. Most of us have. It's just varying degrees. But so you're less likely to be in that. You're less likely to be in the midbrain or the amygdala, like the emotional brain. You'll be able, we need all parts of our brain. They're all great parts. But we just want to start to activate the prefrontal cortex so that we have, again, more access to that higher functioning The other cool thing about it is that when you're impacting your brain, you can, or doing these practices, you can impact the neurochemical environment of your brain. So you can produce things such as serotonin in your brain. So that's naturally occurring, but many people, including myself in the past, take antidepressants to increase the serotonin levels, the quote happy hormone, to kind of feel that lift in mood. But as we practice Kriya, we can start to, those chemicals, we can start to release those chemicals in our brain, which is so cool, so empowering for people. And also, when we're doing these practices that impact our brain, we're less likely to develop things such as dementia. And you do Kriyas over and over and over again to experience a certain impact. So you might see some of that in our classes. And a lot of times it's kind of weird or awkward to do something new. But when you do, when you allow yourself to go there, it's amazing. And one of my favorite expressions is that if you want to experience a radical shift, you have to do something radically different, something outside of your comfort zone. So you might see mantra, and then you'll also see yoga poses, but really we're here to connect with you and to empower you to live your best life, to take ownership of your health or your wellness on all levels, on the level of the body, on the level of the mind, on the level of your spirit. Yoga for me is a way to connect to the divine, like within and without, to find a place of peace and ease, because I believe that when we have a place of peace within, then it just naturally transfers out to those people in our lives. And you know, for a long time, like I wanted to be, like I thought I was a loving person. I really wanted to be. But as I practiced, I realized, wow, like I was holding on to so much stuff in the body. So our bodies carry memory, and it starts showing up in little things, little twitches we have in our body, disease, tightness. And so as we practice yoga, it's so wonderful because we start to release things that are stuck in the body, so that they're out here and they're not hidden. They're out here, we can release it, and we can feel a sense of more freedom. And I truly believe that people are out there just doing their best, trying to feel good, wanting to be happy. But a lot of times the things that we do to create happiness aren't creating happiness for us. So, I'll use an example from my life, trying to, having a couple drinks, trying to get to a place of joy. Over time, that didn't really work, because what it was doing, it was leading to this depressed state. So I incorporate all these amazing kriyas and breath practices, and I feel so good in the body that it's like I don't need those outside things anymore to find a place of calm and ease inside. But it's a journey, it's a process. And like I said, come on out, check out all of our classes, check out all of our teachers. They're all amazing. And can't wait to see you on the mat.